Let it be known, I finance everyone on this podcast.
Hey,
Damn.
are you... Wait. Are you actually lending money for margin trading?
No.
Yeah, he does. Like, the margins here do not call.
Disney's a pretty safe thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they have everything, man.
Yeah.
The three circles that rule the world, may I say.
Mouse.
Grant, I am concerned with your habit of gambling. It makes me very sad when you gamble.
The only thing that makes Blake sad is that he
Next-
didn't do
next
college.
Hey y'all, post-editing Brian here. Before we start today's episode, I have a special announcement. Apartment 308 is now available on Spotify and Google Podcasts. Yes, now you can listen to all the episodes in audio-only form. I'll be updating these pages every week with a few episodes at a time, so do please wait for all of them to come out. I will let you know when I'm available on other platforms as well. Links to Spotify and Google Podcasts are in the description below, and thank you all for the support. Now enjoy today's episode. Hello everybody, welcome back to Apartment 308 YouTube channel. How is everybody doing here today? Hope y'all doing well. Welcome back to the show called Let's Hangout, where me and a couple friends, we just gonna, chill here on our quote-unquote living room, aka our Discord, just talk about some stuff. Over on the apartment tonight, we got some of our boys here. We got our boy Blake, our boy Grant, and our boy Chris too. Say what's up, y'all.
Yo.
Yeah, how you boys doing tonight? How y'all feeling?
Pretty fantastic, it's always a pleasure to be here with you, Brian.
Hell
We're
yeah.
really confused.
It's one of those days where I forget about all the commitments that I have.
That's
like tonight's
what I'm
episode?
set up to. That's what I'm
Yeah,
set
like
up
on
to.
that. I looked at my calendar this morning, saw something written on like the Saturday slot, and then I was like, it's probably not important.
Wow, thanks guys.
If it makes you feel better, I remembered in the morning, and then I forgot in the afternoon.
Wow, see? Big credit to Chris for actually keeping up with the schedule.
So why? You know what he texted me today? You want to play Tarkov?
Oh my. Anyways, so tonight's topic, we are going to be talking about stocks. More specifically, this video will be more of kind of like somewhat of a beginner's guide to someone to start investing in stocks. But, before we get into it, post-editing me, cut to the disclaimer. Hey guys, what's going on here? It's a post-editing Brian here. So before we start this episode relating to all about stocks, we need to give a very slight disclaimer about today's episode. Grant, would you like to take it away?
With the disclaimer, it is that none of us are stock trading professionals. There is no day traders, and our portfolios are all privately managed by ourselves. Any of the negative or net losses or gains that result from advice that may be followed out of this podcast is not liable to Apartment 308 or anyone involved with Apartment 308. Again, everyone on this podcast is a college student. We do not have any professional background within the subject, and this is our own personal advice. We are not liable for any losses or gains as a result of following such advice. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Grant, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode.
Someone clap. Someone clap for my disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
Alright, and we're back. I hope you guys paid attention to that disclaimer, because that's actually very important in regards to today's episode. So if you guys want to hear more on our take about, how to get into the stock market, make sure you subscribe to Apartment 308, like today's video, comment, share, all that good YouTube business and whatnot. Alright, boys, you ready for this? Let's just jump into it.
Let's do it.
Buy high, sell low.
What?
Buy high, sell low.
Anyways, so let's start off with the most, obvious question for any big dum-dums out there, especially like myself. What is the definition of a stock? What exactly is it? In their own
It's
words.
a portion or a share of a company. Like, you want me to get out my textbook?
Yeah, let's do it.
You want to read?
Let's
You want to read an excerpt from your textbook for
I
this?
should
Let's hear
have-
it.
Oh,
Let's hear
did
it.
I sell that textbook? I might have sold the textbook, but I should have it. But essentially, a stock is just a portion or a share of a company that a specific company has broken up and allowed public interest to essentially buy portions and invest into their company.
Ah, okay. Make sure. We have to make sure we have to cite that quote in APA citation.
I'm
Yeah, I'm
honestly looking for
gonna
that
have to
textbook, and I think I sold it.
Damn.
So essentially, corporations use this as a way to raise capital for investment in their infrastructure. So, say Boeing has a warehouse that they need to build, and they don't have the money to do it. I don't know if Boeing is building a warehouse, and I don't know if they don't have the money. But say that they don't, and they need to raise capital, they can issue stock to fund that enterprise, basically that building. So that's just a concrete example of what stocks are essentially used for by the corporations.
Oh, okay. So
Boing boing, they probably don't have the money.
Yeah, it's probably not.
So
right
basically, if like a company wants to say when they want to move on make like a huge investment move, so new building, for example, they would obviously sell stocks to kind of like get the money they need, essentially.
Yeah, that, and it's just generally good to have that cash. Say they didn't do so hot this quarter, and they're having trouble paying people. They can dip into that capital to pay people. Like that, the money that they get from that is versatile. They can use it, and if I'm incorrect, which I very well could be, please make sure to go and do your own research, whoever's listening.
Yes. Again, this is from our own personal experiences, guys. So yeah, we're not really professionals in this. Okay, so that pretty much establishes what basically a stock is. So now let's go ahead and jump into stocks. So another disclaimer. So this question I'm gonna ask: what are some apps, websites, or some other services do you trust to buy and sell stocks? And we are not sponsored, by the way. We're just saying some of our suggestions, but there are some out there that you guys can probably trust as well. So yeah, like what do you guys use?
You want to take this one, Chris?
Yeah, I actually have a decent amount of portfolios opened across the board.
Sheesh.
Mr. I got money.
The fun stuff. Yeah, actually, Grant's the one that's funding me. So if you want to get started, talk to Grant. But I digress. I have my Robinhood, which I opened back in like 2016. I really didn't know what I was doing back then. My friend just said I get a free stock, so I jumped on it, like how everybody does. If I were to repeat that stuff, I don't think I'd go Robinhood, just because of how they treat their customers lately with the whole squeezes and stuff. But I have that. I have a Schwab account, which I highly recommend. And then for a Roth IRA, I have one with Vanguard. So those are my top three.
Yeah,
I really like.
I also noticed too, like ever since like the 2020 pandemic happened, like everyone like jumped ship to Robinhood to like get started on stocks, because I mean we're not making money these days, especially with a lot of people like getting laid off left and right.
Yeah.
Chris, I think it would be helpful for those listening to hear what a Roth IRA is.
Oh, okay, yeah. So the cool thing about Roth IRAs is it's I had a cool graph that explained it, but essentially it's after-tax money that you can put into the market, and any growth that you get from that account is not taxable. So it's a brilliant thing for retirement. It's a individual retirement account, IRA. The Roth part's the post-taxable dollars. So yeah, you can help me out here, Blake, if you'd like.
And it's pretty much only for retirement. If you take that money out beforehand, before you turn a certain age or before you retire, you will be heavily taxed. You'll be heavily taxed on that. So there's some conditions to it. They started becoming popular a decade or 2 decades ago. I can't remember, but people were just paying out of their teeth for taxes when they retire, and that's not generally something people want to do when they retire, because they're not going to be making any more money unless they've got other passive income set up. So it's a good way to save for retirement. There's also just IRAs. Yeah, that's the retirement side of stocks.
Yes.
Not as sexy, but still very important.
Not as sexy.
Watch your mouth.
Show you my Roth IRA if you show me. What's your portfolio looking like these days, Brian?
I got nothing, man. That's why I'm making this episode.
He's really using us for help.
Growth of 8 to 9% per year annual.
I mean,
That's a lot.
We'll talk about portfolio sizes soon, but anyways, like
I say 8 to 9% because that's the actual statistical growth over time that you see annually.
All right. Anyways, Blake or Grant, like what services do you guys use when you're looking at the stock market?
I use pretty similar to Chris. Of course, I started with like a Robinhood back in high school, and it was kind of just like I wonder what this app is, and then I have a TD Ameritrade. We were talking earlier. My bank offers stuff that honestly I should probably just put money into it and get my bank's thing. They offer private client investment where they actually manage the stocks for you. But I use primarily TD.
Oh yeah, I've heard good things about that one.
Yeah, technically Schwab now since the merger.
Have you used any services similar to what you use, Blake, or something different?
I had a run-in with Coinbase back in 2017. That's a funny story. I'll get to that in a minute. But I use primarily Robinhood and pretty much only Robinhood. I just haven't put the time into setting up new accounts elsewhere, even though I know Robinhood is not the best right now in terms of customer service and putting their people first. I really didn't like what they did with the whole GameStop fiasco to the moon and whatnot. And Doge as well. They did the same thing to Doge, and I was not really happy with that. But I have been less active in trading over the past, I'd say, 8 months because of other enterprises I'm pursuing. But yeah, the funny story with the whole Coinbase thing was back in 2017. I was like, ooh, Ethereum looks really nice. It was like sitting at 200 or something, 200, 300 to 700.
I heard about that. Yeah.
And so that crypto that I wanted to buy, basically exchange the dollar. We'll get to crypto later. I'm seeing the questions. Basically exchange my dollars for a different currency. And my bank at the time was like, no, you can't do that. And they froze my card, and I didn't know until I went out on a date with my now girlfriend of 3 years. And the card got declined on the first date. And I had to leave my ID there to go to an ATM, and then eventually actually just call customer service and get it all sorted out and unfrozen so I could pay for the meal.
Oh my!
Because I was like, oh hey, you don't have to pay for anything. I got this one. I did not have that one. I did not have it. And there was more things that happened that night, but they didn't happen to do with the investing. More crazy, unfortunate, really funny stuff. But yeah, make sure that when you're buying things, you can afford it, and that your card isn't going to get frozen for fraud.
I want to hear more about that story in another episode.
Elaborate on that one.
That's great. That's a great story.
Like how you managed to not know your account's frozen.
I just didn't buy anything, man. I was.
Don't you get an email?
No, I didn't get any notification whatsoever.
Wow, what the heck? Damn.
There's some fault within your bank then.
Yeah.
And you should sue them.
Yeah.
Well, it was Wells Fargo. So.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Alright, guys, if you want to know Blake's credit card number, it's, no, I'm kidding.
It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Oh, that's mine too.
You guys have those.
Mine's just one number over.
It's just one number. I'll just repeat it.
We have the same card.
Yeah, but
No way,
I
bro.
never actually get charged.
You got it from the Bank of Grant too?
the Bank of Grant.
Let it be known, I financed everyone on this podcast.
Yeah.
Hey, are you? Wait. Are you actually lending money for margin trading?
No.
yeah, he does. The margins here do not call.
For
It's
those
not
of you
really
who don't know
lending
it,
if he just takes your card.
yeah, trading on margin is just trading with someone else's money, like basically a loan. For those of you who don't know. But,
It's like credit.
it's
I'll margin
super
trade for BG.
risky. It's
Yeah.
super
Margin
risky.
trade for BG.
No. no, thank you. But anyways, one other like follow-up question I did just thought of right now. So, I'm assuming the benefit of creating different accounts on different services is obviously just probably expanding your portfolio, right? Or is there more
No,
to it?
necessarily, because you can be pretty well diverse in just one trading application.
I have other services, but I only use TD.
An example of why this is good. I was actually listening to a podcast about the founding of Robinhood today.
Really?
On NPR. And
Really?
So basically what happened back in February of 2020 is Robinhood, they went down for like 2 or 3 days. And no one could trade on the app, and it wasn't working. It was super slow when it was coming back up. And people were very, very sad because the stock market was still going. It doesn't wait for Robinhood to fix its stuff, of course. So in the meantime, people with Robinhood accounts could not trade. And I don't know. I can see one clear benefit of having multiple accounts is that if one goes down, you still have the other one if you need to make that stock purchase.
Okay, so it's basically kind of like having like backup plans in case, kind of like your main one goes down.
Yeah, and also they have different resources. Robinhood's resources for information gathering are a little bit more limited than I'd say TD and Goldman, and all of them now offer commission-free trading. So back in the day, you would have to pay a broker and also have a minimum amount, like a grand.
That would have Charles Schwab. You still might have to.
Yeah,
it's free.
And
they made it free.
It's
so
free.
You had to have a minimum deposit, or not deposit, just a minimum initial principal of 1,000, and you also had to pay commission whenever you made a purchase. But with Robinhood, they found a way to make money without the commission, and then everybody started doing it. So then that's why there's a whole bunch of people like myself and maybe the other two. I don't know if you guys were already into stocks before the commission-free buzz 2016, 2017, and it just brought millions of small-time users to the app. It was great.
Yeah, that's about the time that I started as well, 2016.
When I first looked at doing stocks, it was prior to 2016. I think it was 2013. So I was still just entering high school. And that was still when Charles Schwab used to have a mandatory 500 minimum.
Wow.
And being a freshman, 500 was about 2 zeros more than I had.
Oh, shit.
About 500 more than I had.
I had enough money to take the bus home if I needed to, but that was about it.
Shit.
And look at you now. Wow.
Look at you, Grant.
Now, I still only have enough money to take the bus home.
Grant, they don't call you Grant for nothing, dude.
Wow.
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 Chris, you just made my heart flutter.
Grant, can you grant me some money so I can do margin calls?
Only for BG. We're only doing margin calls for BG.
Why? Anyways.
I'm going to charge you an insane interest rate.
Alright. Anyways, so that's kind of like all, some of these guys' favorite apps to use. Again, we are not sponsored by these apps. We're just here sharing kind of what we like. Again, you guys might find something better that you guys might trust soon. But anyways, on with the show. For a beginner like me, who probably wants to get into stocks, along with, maybe some other viewers out there, how much money should someone throw in for their first go?
I mean, what are you trying to buy? Because you can do it with $5 in your account, or you can do it with 10,000 in your account.
It's a very good point what Grant's saying, because now a lot of trading platforms offer partial. What's the proper terminology for this? It's partial stocks.
I think it is partial. No, fractional
shares. Fractional shares.
Fractional shares, there it is, yeah. So, you could get away with throwing $5. Well, actually, I think Schwab, they have a minimum of, at least $5, but, Robinhood, I think you can throw pennies at something if you'd really like to.
Really?
I was going to say, you could always start with penny stock. Not even, going into... Not anymore?
I wouldn't touch penny stocks at the, a 10
Really?
Okay, you did touch penny stocks at the 10-foot pole.
And that's... I paid the lesson to learn.
But the point being made is you could technically start with whatever value that you want. it all depends on what you're trying to buy into and how much you're actually willing to throw.
Oh, I see.
The freedom that investors have gotten from the Robinhood entry into the market is just exponentially higher than it was in the past. It's not as scary.
Does Robinhood show you?
Stock.
Does Robinhood show you kind of like say like, oh, you're a beginner in stocks, here are some markets you can probably invest in type of thing?
Not necessarily, no. Its user interface is pretty beginner friendly, but outside of that, no, you'll have to utilize like research.
Everything is like up to you at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, there's
If you really wanted to,
there's
you
like
can
really
turn
safe
on
ones to invest in.
Define safe ones like.
blue chip companies like Apple, or like leaders in like different sectors, like technology sectors or communication.
I was talking
or
about
healthcare.
like annual yield and growth over periods of time, typically are about 40 years for measurement. Like you can technically just invest, like he was saying, like blue chip. They're pretty much just old money. It doesn't fluctuate a lot. You typically always get growth, but it's not in high amounts. But it's a really safe investment to be like. So I was explaining this to one of my friends, like nieces, the other day. She was asking about stocks, and I told her like, yeah, you can do things like throw money in GME. Like you can. Do I think you should? I feel like I should have now that I'm looking back on it. But you can throw it into safe things like the S&P 500, the Dow Jones, or like Apple, Disney, Coca-Cola. Those typically don't take hits. You're not going to get huge growth, but you're going to be pretty safe in saying like, oh, I might get 0.5 or 1% growth annual.
Okay.
They do take hits though in a crisis like COVID.
Oh yes.
When you see the Dow, which is just an industrial average of what's going on in the market, and when that goes down a whole bunch, everybody starts freaking out. It means nothing for your job usually. The stock market is not the economy. Just remember that.
But I would like to just state again, statistically over about 40 years, you will see about an 8 to 9% annual growth rate if you have a diverse portfolio.
Absolutely.
I see.
Yeah.
I actually just remember this. One of my old friends here in the Bay, me and him, we were talking about his financials one day, and he told me, "Oh, I'm getting started into stocks." And this was before COVID, the year before COVID, so 2019 about. And he told me he found this like one person to go to help him get started with stocks. Really trust the guy, but he said like there are people like the one he found that will find certain stocks that will constantly go up and affordable to start out. Like, would you guys suggest that too, or is there a risk to that?
I don't think that exists personally.
Really? Cause yeah, someone told me about it. It could be like a different service overall. I'm not sure. I can't remember.
Well,
So wait, what's the premise of this service again? Can you repeat that?
So it's kind of
I was
like
looking
he will find some markets for you to easily invest in, and he will make sure that, or he will see that these prices keep going up and up. So basically, kind of like a stock market advisor, I would say.
I see.
the reason I say I don't believe in it is because the stock market is inherently gambling. You can't win 100% of the time.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that question up later, but yeah, I think, well, yeah, like, I don't know, I could be wrong though. It could be like a whole different service he might be going to, or something very bad he might have got himself into.
Yeah, let's talk about the distinction between gambling and like different ways that people play this game.
This is another. This was a question I was gonna save till later, but I guess we can bring it up now. Like,
I think it's.
Yeah,
I'm sorry if I'm derailing all the questions because I didn't read them.
No, it's okay, but yeah, like the one I want to say this, like, for me, like, the main reason why I didn't get into stocks, especially when people were riding on, the Robinhood hype train, especially with the GameStop 2 thing. I don't know. For me, I always see investing in stock market like basically gambling. You're gonna throw money in, but you don't know how much you're gonna get out until a certain period of time. So, in your guys' own opinion, like, do you see it as gambling, or do you see like a fine line where there's a clear difference between both things?
I feel
think
like. Oh, go ahead, Blake.
it's definitely a gray area of what's going on. You have people that are going in with practically no experience in doing options trading or buying on margin, two inherently risky things to do, and that I would almost say is certainly gambling. But then there's people that go in and they invest in the index funds that follow the market, and like Grant was saying, they're getting over 40 years 10% annually, and that's enough for them. It all depends on what you're willing to risk. You never put in what you're not willing to lose in the stock market. And in that sense, it is gambling.
Yeah.
But there's lots of other ways that people look at the market and play it. There's quantitative analysis that looks at the numbers and goes on like yield over time, and there's like the math whizzes of the world. They go in and they figure out just based on the numbers what stock is going to go up. And then there's the qualitative analysis, which is like, oh, this company is releasing this thing or that thing, and then people invest in it because they believe in that. And that too, like, that's sort of gambling and sort of not at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I have said my piece. Go for it, Chris.
No, that's fine. Yeah, just building off what you said, like anything with money, it can always be looked at as either an investment or gambling. There's always going to be that inherent like thought with it. But yeah, the main difference, I'm going to reiterate, is one person could just go in and go crazy with option calls, and then like another person could have a different point of view and just put money into something and totally forget about it. So I guess it really comes down to the individual.
Yeah. When you guys first started like investing into the market, like, do you guys remember like were you that type of person that likes to like kind of like play it safe and just play by ear, or are you kind of like that one dude that just likes to go balls deep and just go big, go home type of thing?
Blue chip all the way.
Yeah.
And you will stick to the lane that you want to be in. Like Grant's saying blue chip, and he's probably sticking to that lane. If it's an industry that you are personally connected to and you understand, like the gaming industry or the computer industry, and then you know what's going on there a little more than others might. So you'd probably invest in that. Like, invest in what you're interested in. I think Warren Buffett said something along those lines. But I had a pearl of wisdom. It's gone now.
Aw.
Following what Blake said, it's really hard to invest in an industry that you are not familiar with. I was going to say, Chris was telling me to invest in a lot of defense stuff, and we were talking about it. It's like, I have no clue what's going on in the defense industry.
That's true, yeah.
I just know that we, like, do some not so favorable things to other countries, and then we get money out of it.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so practically saying, like, say for example me, like, I'm investing in, say, like, tech companies, so say like, oh, I'm putting a lot into like Samsung, Apple, for example, but then, next thing you know, I'm like, travel sounds fun. Like, I would have to play it safe if I were to like transfer, because that's a new area that I'm not really discovering yet.
Yeah.
I mean, depends what you quantify as travel. Like, if you're talking to airlines, yeah, play it safe. But if you're talking like entertainment, like Disney, I count Disney as a travel. But it's like, Disney's a pretty safe thing.
I mean, they have everything, man.
Yeah.
The three circles that rule the world, may I say.
Mouse.
Yeah.
The House of Mouse.
The House of Mouse. Anyone remember that show? Shit.
Oh, and in terms of like what we did when we started trading, like you asked earlier, it's my first inclination was to say, oh, I just kind of picked, and then I was like, oh no, I did do quantitative and a mix of quantitative and qualitative analysis on the stocks that I was picking, and I read the news every day. Read the damn news if you.
That really changes it. It really does change you. As soon as you get into the market, you are really savvy with what's happening in the world.
You gotta know.
New York Times.
That is true.
I see.
So like supply chain ripples. That's probably one of the single biggest effects that COVID had on the economy. So basically, what happened is these car rental companies like Hertz and whatnot had to sell all their cars because no one was using them. No one was renting cars because everybody was at home. No one could go anywhere. And then when they sold them all off, and then they needed to, of course, buy them back to rescale up their business again, they couldn't get the cars. And this actually caused a computer chip shortage, and that rippled into different industries, like the computer industry and just everywhere. So if you're reading about a shortage of one thing that's going to be causing a shortage in something else in supply chain, and then you can kind of see like, oh, okay, if the market is kind of bearish and it's been very bullish, which means that it's been going up a lot without correction, then you can kind of assume that, oh, this is going to really adversely affect that stock. And that's kind of some qualitative analysis example.
So I know we're also kind of jumping again to like a different question, but obviously like another big question I had was like, how does one kind of pretty much study the flow of if certain prices are going to go up and down? And, you know, I guess pretty much we can say is that it really just depends on current events, right? So like
Blake answered it really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He already answered the question at that point. Shit.
I can't physically get into it without like pulling up graphs and going into things that I don't truly understand, like candlestick graphs. Candlestick graphs are my enemy.
Yeah, and then you can get into bid and ask sheets and whatnot, spreads and whatnot, like the difference between what people are asking for the stock to buy it for and what people are trying to sell it for. And of course it's buy low, sell high.
No, it's buy high, sell low. This is where you get into things with like people spend their entire lives doing this professionally, like examining these bid-ask sheets or studying the candle graphs. As much as like I think any of us would love to be able to understand it, at the end of the day, it's outside of our realm.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you got, if you wanted to get into it, you probably had to go to school for math, really.
Fuck.
or computer science. But that's
economic.
Fuck.
That's like doing it yourself. You can read the graphs and begin to interpret the numbers if you put some a minimal amount of time into it. Like, okay, I'm going on Robinhood right now on my monitor. I click on one of my stocks, and underneath of it, I've got some info. I've got let's see, where is it? Why is it not pulling up the info I need?
I don't even have candlesticks on. I have my TD up right now, and I don't even have candlesticks. I use the normal line graph.
Yeah, you can use the line graph. I mean, you can do candlestick analysis, and there's things that you can do with there's like a trading range that you can kind of predict with a candlestick. But other than that, I really don't know much more. I know there's a shit ton more, but yeah, okay, here are my stats. I can look at the dividend yield, which is basically a ratio of like how much you're earning with a dividend. And dividends are just the company paying you to hold their stock. It's a good way to form some passive income. Say I bought $50 stock with like a 7% dividend yield ratio. I bought 100,000 in that stock. I would get a $50 stock around 2,000 shares. I would get probably around 28,000 a year because you get paid every quarter with dividends, and they can choose to stop paying dividends at any time. But that's just a risk you gotta kind of take it when you want a dividend yield stock, and that's some good money. That adds up, and then you can reinvest it too into that stock. But yeah, you can look at those numbers and you can make decisions. I'm looking at the dividend yield of a company called HP Enterprise, which split off from HP a few years ago. They have a dividend yield of 3.04, and I can see like, oh, okay, I'm going to get that portion of yield from that stock. Or I'm seeing like it has a 52-week low of $8.29. It's like, oh, okay, that went really low, and I can see the volume, like how many trades are happening. So you can go in and understand it if you don't have a degree in mathematics. You'll be okay. You can go and do it as long as you put the effort in.
So, moral of the story is, learn your maths. Just learn your maths.
Learn
how to read and be qualitative.
Learn how to read.
And just tell Blake to shut the hell up about this nerdy stuff.
No.
It's like a real man.
Keep it coming.
Blake, you are the content. Y'all are the content.
I would like to say I'm the only person here who never actually took math classes in college.
Same.
What?
You know, actually, this is okay. Slightly off topic, but there was at a point during my freshman year, I was like, "Damn, I could actually be a math major." Never mind.
Oh,
Never
no.
mind.
Anyways,
No math majors allowed.
no math majors
I
allowed.
want that on a sticker.
Devin is out.
That's
Wait, he's
my
actually
major
a
at
math
Mount
major?
Sac.
He is a math major.
What? Grant, that's my major at Mount Sac.
Well, you know where the door is.
You almost made me spit out my miso soup, Grant.
Damn. Is this what it feels like?
Hey, no. Remember, we accept everyone in this
Math
apartment.
majors.
That's
No
just
bullying
fair.
unless they're a math major.
Not to shit on
I
any
want a
math
sticker.
majors.
I want a sticker out there. It says no math majors allowed.
I'll make you one. I'll make you one.
The preference is my girlfriend is a math minor. I don't hate people that do math. I just don't understand you guys.
Oh, okay. So just because you don't understand means you hate it. Wow, that
Wow.
really sums up society, huh?
Wow.
That really,
That's
I see parallels. I see parallels.
Anyways, so moving on to another question. In terms of kind of like beginner stuff, like how like big or maybe how small should like a portfolio be?
What do you got?
Should I take it?
Go ahead. I want to see what you say.
So you have essentially two resources. Three resources. You've got you've got the money that you have right now in your bank account or lack thereof.
I have a butterfly flying out of my wallet right now.
Wow.
Butterfly. That's
like
luck.
That's like that's basically a fancy moth. You're in there.
Yeah. That's good luck.
The meme, is that a butterfly? It just popped in my head.
No, is that a pigeon? And you have so you have your budget, your wallet, what you've got your time, and you've got your risk tolerance. So essentially every person's entrance into the market is determined by those three factors, in my opinion. It can be determined by a lot more. But say you you ran into some money or something like that. You're just like, I don't care where this goes, blah, and put it on there. Basically, you're limited by your budget, you're constrained by time, and your risk tolerance determines basically what % yield you're going to want or you're going to end up with. If your risk tolerance is very, very high, like you don't really care about the money that you're putting in, you can lose that money and it's not going to affect you very much, and you're not going to by affect you, I mean, is it going to keep you up at night? Is it going to is it going to bankrupt you if it goes away?
Oh shit.
Shit. Those are the two things you kind of got to think about when determining risk tolerance. And essentially that just paves the way for, okay, you've got your budget, your risk tolerance, and your time. So how long do you want this money in regards to time? It's like, how long do you want this money in the market? How much time do you want to spend researching what stock to buy, or how much time do you want to research or use to find where you want to put this money, whether it be in Robinhood, like all the research that goes into it and all the time that you wait for things to accumulate and grow. And that's all based on your starting budget, or what a lot of people do is they put money into the market on a weekly, monthly, or yearly basis as well. So those are the resources starting. And then there's friends too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like Grant.
Like Grant, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, when I was first investing, I I know I have the privilege of working at jobs where I get bonuses, but I would pretty much say like my bonus is what I would invest. So once a month I would get bonuses. Oh, let's see. It was at the time it was mostly casinos, and I was playing blackjack.
I was waiting for you to say
$100 and walking out with $500, so I didn't see a problem with it.
Grant justified that by saying he was stimulating the Indians' economy.
Wow!
The actual information, but not Native Americans.
I worry about you, Grant. I worry about you.
Okay, but to preference this, just knew I would go in with like $100, walk out with $500, get back home at like 4 a.m, and be perfectly fine the next day.
Oh my goodness.
I don't condone to gambling.
Yes, we don't. we
don't promote gambling on this station.
There's a reason that my actual stocks are like blue chips and really safe, and it's because I know I do stupid stuff on the other hand.
Oh my goodness, Grant. See,
building off what Blake said, I really liked how he talked about his time how much risk you can take on and stuff. And he brought up what I was going to talk about. Like, if you don't have a lot of money, you can always throw in like $25 and dollar cost average a fractional share onto something. You could do like a recurring investment like once a week, $25, because something is better than nothing. So you don't have to look at it as like a holistic it's $1,000 or nothing. Like it's like the same idea as like working out or something like
your limit
and doing something within your limit.
It makes sense, makes dollars.
It does. It'll help out. If your investment plans is to invest for retirement or for the future. If you're looking to just YOLO the market, I mean,
you might as well go to a casino.
Yeah, don't.
For the love of God, have a reason, have an end game.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
why are you going into the market? Is it just to make money? Well, what is that money going to be for?
That's
life.
True. Yes.
I need
food. When you in a position, you should always have a entry and an exit plan.
Keep in mind also, if you pull your money out too quickly, you're going to get taxed to shit.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I guess pretty much just overall, know what you're doing, know yourself, and also, yeah, just like, what do you really want out of all of it? Like, you want to go travel somewhere, despite what we're in right now? You want to buy a new car? You want to get a new computer? Something like that? Yeah, so, yeah,
I just... Vegas, maybe?
Vegas? You gamble to
Grant
keep gambling.
I know. Grant, you have a problem, dude.
I think Grant has a gambling addiction, guys. I think we need.
Some people play GME. I play blackjack.
Guys, this is now turning into Grant's intervention. Grant, you have a problem. We're all concerned about your safety.
No
sorry, Grant.
This.
Gets paper, ruffles it a little bit.
Started.
Grant, I am concerned with your habit of gambling. It makes me very sad when you gamble.
The only thing that makes Blake sad is that he
next page. What's this say here? Who typed this up?
There's
a misspelling here.
Oh, sorry, the crayon got a little.
I'm gonna do that now. I'm gonna mess with my professors and turn in homework in crayon.
Yes.
No.
Hey, Chris, you turn in your final in crayon, I'll turn in my final in crayon.
But
Chris, I am concerned with you turning in homework with crayon. It is very bad and won't be very good for you.
It's very
is this written in crayon, or is this like written in marker or colored pencil now?
Hey, man.
We've upgraded. They're pastel now.
Not
pastel.
So getting back on topic, obviously one of the other big kind of like events that happened in terms of the pandemic is people investing in cryptocurrency. So you got your Bitcoin, you got your Dogecoin, you got all your types of cryptocurrency. But my question is there like a huge difference when it comes to investing in stocks and investing in crypto?
Well, one, they freeze your credit card and you can't pay for your dinner date.
That is very important, actually.
2, you should be watching your credit. You shouldn't be investing off your credit card, first of all, 2.
Yeah. No, it was off a debit card.
Okay, you should be monitoring your accounts to make sure they're not frozen.
Yes.
Do proper due diligence, check your accounts in the morning, check for any odd transactions.
Be like Blake. Blake was big dumb tried to buy crypto.
I like how we're giving shit to Grant for gambling, and now we're throwing the shade back to Blake for not checking his bank account.
I deserve it.
It's okay, Blake.
He is without sin cast the first Bitcoin.
I'm done.
Anyways, like back to the topic, crypto versus stock. So what we got?
See, I don't really use crypto, and I've never really jumped into that realm of investing because I'm scared of it.
Well, what makes you
So I
so
can't really
scared?
comment on
Personally,
You should be.
well, I agree with Blake. You should be scared of it. But personally, the reason I think you should be scared of it is, first of all, the fluctuation in the values.
Yeah, my tummy
could-
can't handle that.
Oh
You could be at, like, let's say
My tummy
25,000 one day, drop down to 17, and then hit back up to 31 by the end of the week.
Teaching moment.
Oh shit!
This is Chris's risk tolerance. He doesn't like large moves all the time.
Yeah, my
Can't
tummy
handle the
level
up and
doesn't like the
downs.
waves.
But my main thing with crypto is the liquidity. Crypto has it's not easily liquidable. Can't just like go to a bank and say like, oh, or I can't just withdraw the stock and be like, oh, I want $35,000 in my account. It's crypto all the time. It gets a lot more complicated than that when it comes to like dealing with currencies, because as we've seen in the past couple of months and even weeks, there's scam coins out now too.
Oh yeah.
It comes down to just like, for the longest time you couldn't actually liquidate your Bitcoin. It was pretty much only used on dark web.
Oh yeah. We're not gonna touch that. Hell no.
But the point is, it's like a lot of the time you can be dealing with these currencies and it's like, yeah, the number's going up, but there's no way you can actually touch that number.
I mean, back in the day, it was certainly more risky. Certainly more risky.
You could buy pizza with Bitcoin back in the day. I do remember that.
Oh
You could
my
buy, like, pizza
God.
with pizza.
Yeah, actually, I was traveling around on Reddit, and there's this person making fake IDs because. Don't ask me why I was looking for those. Some friends in high school had fake IDs, so I was just like, how
was
the hell
a
do you
young
get
No
guy.
way.
So yeah, exactly. This is back in like 2014.
Oh okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
because
It's 2014.
Bitcoin
Like
came out in like 2012.
Yeah, so this is 2014. They were talking about how they got a fake ID from some dude in I think Arizona, and I like Reddited it, and back then, if I were to do something illegal like that, I would have probably had some leftover Bitcoin, and that would have made me a billionaire, because I think the going rate for an ID, if you really wanted one, you'd have to pay, I think, 20 Bitcoin.
holy shit.
Yeah, it was interesting, and that came out to like $40 or something. I totally forgot what the number came out or how many Bitcoins it actually was, but it came out to around $40 shipped to do everything illegal, and you'd have a decent amount of Bitcoin left over if you really wanted to. And then I beat myself up every day for not doing something illegal. I could have been a millionaire, a billionaire,
I
or
would like
something.
to state, when Bitcoin like first started, you could buy 3 Bitcoin for the price of $1.
Yeah.
It was dirt, and it was because like everyone just looked at it like, what do you mean your money's on the internet? What kind of scam is this?
Exactly, a non-fiat currency, whatever that means.
Non-fiat.
And now we're buying fiats with Bitcoin.
Yes.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's my 2 cents on crypto. My friends actually used it a lot for gambling, believe it or not.
You guys used to gambling Bitcoin. Oh shit.
Yeah, that's the only way you can get onto the sports betting websites in California. You have to Bitcoin transaction. So
What the hell?
I was gonna say, we have a friend who has a ton of Bitcoin actually, because when we were in high school, he'd get paid out in Bitcoin from like tournaments and gaming.
Oh my god.
You, I want to say his name. Can you believe this?
Yeah,
Brian?
I got you.
Quack, quack.
oh shit, really
Yeah, he used to get paid out in like 20 or something Bitcoins per tournament.
interesting.
Damn.
No wonder he's living the life. No wonder he got a
What?
degree in music. Fuck.
I was gonna say, besides the fact his family owns and does real estate that are
Yeah,
like,
but barring that he sells houses.
barring that he
too.
was already loaded.
Also, I remember too, like the whole like Bitcoin like fiasco kind of thing. Like, you guys remember like kind of like those groups that say that would help you invest in Bitcoin, but really it's all just a scam. Kind of like Bitconnect. That fucking meme.
Forgive my tone, but like back in my day, we had to walk over a river to get to school. It wasn't as much investing in Bitcoin as like you wouldn't mine it. You would buy a GPU and a mining rig, and you would just have it going at your house, and you'd mine Bitcoin.
Oh yeah, dude, I actually know like a few friends that have rigs just for mining crypto. I was like, how much?
It's not as like efficient now, but back in the day, you used to be able to get like coin a day, maybe.
I know, yeah.
That's crazy.
Back in my day, when you had to walk over a river and through the mountains of snow to school.
I remember that. Bitcoin is like what, 12? No, it was about $7,000 when I was playing Overwatch.
Oh
now-
my.
And then I grew up, and then I made Chris start giving me rides. So that's when Bitcoin went high.
I get so upset about this because, like, if I had just gotten wind of it, like 2 years before what was going on, I would have been all over it.
Really?
I've been all over it. I even mined Ethereum too. Like, I would have been all over Bitcoin back in the day. It's like, you kidding
We
me?
talk about how when Bitcoin and Dogecoin first came out, I asked for, because we used to, like, my uncle used to give all the kids in our family just like $50 for a birthday. Like, whatever you wanted, he would just, if it was under $50, he would give it to you.
Oh, no.
And I told him, like, when this first came out, because I was sitting there, little wee me, watching YouTube and seeing the Dogecoin trailer, I said, I want Bitcoin. I want $50 worth of Bitcoin for my birthday.
What
And
the
what that
fuck?
means, he said, you're an idiot.
$50 worth of Bitcoin?
That
I mean,
was back
he
when
wasn't
you could
wrong.
He wasn't wrong. But that was back when you could get 3 coins for $1, Brian. I
my
remind him
goodness.
every time I see him that he is the reason our family has to work.
Oh my god.
That's pretty messed up.
That's kind of
pretty
fucked
messed
up, Grant.
I remind him that if he would have just did what I said and followed my idiotic advice, we wouldn't have needed to go to college, because we would have just had like 150 Bitcoin to just throw.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
I knew exactly where that story was going right from the start, and I'm dying inside.
I'm pissed. This is the one thing that gets me, like, I may be stupid, very, very stupid, but I got a gut feeling and it was right.
Yeah.
Gut feelings.
I know. I'm proud of you, Grant. I'm
Yeah.
proud of you.
Grant's,
That's why we're buying
Grant's
Elise.
redemption arc. Wait, what?
That's why we're buying Elise's.
What?
Specialized.
And bikes.
Yeah. But
We
anyways,
buy a bike for like $300 and resell it for $3,000. Brian, you want to do it?
no. What? No. But
Your loss.
But anyways, in terms of regarding crypto, yes, there are a few risks, but again, this is up to you guys if you want to try investing in crypto. If you guys want us to make a separate episode about cryptocurrency, we probably could. Just let us know. But again, this is all on your actions. Please don't bring this back to us. Again, we're just here to share our personal experiences, so maybe you guys can get inspired. So one last question before we wrap up today's episode. Are there any final tips and advice you want to give the listeners for investing in the stock market?
Just do it.
Just do it.
Just get Blake as a friend. He seems like a very good resource to have around.
Yeah.
Personally,
Way better
I
than
feel like
Chris.
if you have a Sherpa like that, and then you have Grant's wallet, I feel like the world's your oyster.
So moral of the story, get someone that's actually smart about it and get someone that has money to give you it.
What are your degrees, guys? I just don't know
You
Chris's
think
degree.
Chris has a degree?
Oh,
I ride motorcycles for a living.
Oh, cool.
No, I'm
No,
kidding.
don't believe it.
Oh. I mean, like, whatever you do is completely
I'm sorry.
fine.
That was very. I got my degree in chemistry.
yeah,
Okay.
He
chemistry.
doesn't do chemistry.
But
Yeah,
He doesn't do it.
the most I've done chemistry the past, like, because of COVID, I've really been unattached to my major because I need to be in the lab to do cool stuff. But the most I've done was like cooking. It's kind of sad.
cooking.
I'm also a business major, so this is what I was all
okay.
about.
This is why I brought on Blake onto the show, especially.
Oh, cool. So you got attorney, Chris, a business major, and then
I just like to say, I was on the phone with my girlfriend last night, and then Chris just messaged me some like chemistry thing out of the blue. It was about like aromatic reactions within the kitchen. I was just sitting there in bed, and I looked at it, and I said something, and she was just like, "What the hell are you talking about? I didn't send you any of that. I hate chemistry. You know this."
Chris, are you interested in food chemistry?
I am. That's actually the industry that I have most of my years in. My collective work experience comes from the food and beverage industry. Yes, I've done quality assurance, research and development, procurement, and pretty much everything. I used to work at a what is it? An ice cream factory, a paleta factory, and it was small enough to where little people like me, a college grad, could actually formulate recipes, do taste testings on raw ingredients, and all this other stuff. It's really cool when you get into like the science behind it, like how aromatics make banana, like the flavor banana comes from one molecule. It's crazy.
But
I sent you a friend request on Discord, and I sent you my phone number.
So your number is.
We got
Don't
some.
Dox me, please. But I own a tea company, and it's at some point in the distant future, I will probably be needing someone of your expertise.
Yeah.
Oh, right on, yeah.
But
damn it, I'm actually getting some certificates right now in the food industry. So by then I should be HACCP and PCQI or whatever that cert is. So I should be able to do a lot of the heavy lifting on your quality / I guess development side.
Awesome. I'll send you to Sri Lanka.
I just got so much more respect for Chris.
Yeah, I just thought I'd eat popsicles in a corner at my old job.
All you would ever send me pictures of.
My god.
Snapchat me in the middle of the day of him just throwing things down the aisle or something leaking all over the factory. I mean, like, it's all sucrose.
Anyways, if we were to practically summarize some of like the final advices in terms of getting into the stock market, know your limit, do a lot of research, ask some experts in the market, or maybe seek out, probably a professional. Not us, we're not professionals at this.
I sell low.
Yeah, keep watching, the news, see what's going on in the world, and yeah, again, just play how you want to play the market. Again, but it's not gambling in a way.
Brian, I'm going to plug for you real quick. Join the Discord if you want to talk to any of us about this.
Oh, yes.
Join the Discord. I'm usually around. I'm on my computer working on my website or doing this, that, the other thing. So
yeah.
I'm always on, just appearing off lines, ping me if you need me.
Yeah, you can ask for Grant's wallet.
Yeah.
You can ask my wallet, but I'll give you Chris's credit card.
Oh, you mean the one
Which is also my credit card?
Oh, you mean the one that's just in binary? It's just 010101.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Fun fact, Chris and I have our credit cards on the same expiration date because we ordered our credit cards at the same exact time.
Damn!
That's so cute.
It is.
That is couples goals, if anything.
It was Christmas, and we said, "Hey, you want a credit card?"
That's really what happened too.
But anyways, guys, that's gonna wrap it up today's episode of Let's Hang Out, talking about the stock market. But before we go, Blake here already mentioned that he has a tea business, so we're gonna plug Blake's tea business real quick. So if you guys want to check out Blake's tea business, it's tleo.com or t-leo.com. He sells a variety of Sri Lankan tea. It is super good. I bought their lavender and their green tea, and my god, it's so freaking good. Like, I drink that sometimes while I'm editing these episodes. Like, it actually gets my head in the right space for editing. I love it.
It's the people going.
Hell yeah.
It's provocative.
But yeah, if you guys want to try out Blake's tea yourself, again, it will be in the description. That is t-leo.com. But anyways, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for today's episode of Let's Hang Out. Yeah, thanks you guys for coming on the show and talking about stock market with us.
Thanks, Brian.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So anyways, guys, don't forget to subscribe to Apartment 308, like today's video, share it with all your friends, and in the comments below, are you someone that's starting out the stock market? Do you guys feel ready to start investing, or are you a professional or maybe an expert out there that want to share some advice down in the comments? Just feel free to say some stuff. We're all ears for it. And yes, of course, we do have a Discord server. The invitation link will also be in the description below. So you guys want to talk to any of us, feel free. This will also be doing some live sessions too. We are using Discord's brand new stage feature. So yeah, we want to interact with you guys more. But anyways, guys, signing off for now. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye-bye.
I love you.
Bye.
I love you. Come back.